All right, time to get working on the next building. And this time we're doing the artist's house. So let's get the images lined up here and get started. First thing we're going to do is from the front, get the windows set up, and then also the doorway. And we'll go ahead and finish off the front wall, the lowest part of it, that is. Get everything moved into position and start putting faces in. This is really one of the most easy parts of this operation. And now, because I want windows on the other wall that kind of match, I'm just going to duplicate that portion of the first wall and move them over. And really I just want one window, so I don't worry about that other part of it. And I think we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So that's what we do. Get things evened up with each other. Fill in. And there we go. So next up is going to be extruding the windows and then filling them in with a face, and then doing the same to the windows on the front and the door. Having done that, we now need to go to the roof. And doing the roof is rather easy. Just make a pyramid shape to start, and then add in a couple more vertices where needed to get it to look more like a weathered pyramid. And now we've got to worry about the irregular shape that it has here on the concept art that I devised. And that's just adding in cuts where necessary and pulling the vertices around. And then we get our roof. Looks kind of like that. And now to make sure the overhang looks the way it should. And now for the next part, the paintbrush on the side here. People have to know it's the house of an artist. So what better way than to have a giant paintbrush leaned up against the side. And I don't want it to be intersecting with the roof at all. So I'm going to make a little indentation in the roof right here, like so. And then fix this up as well. All right, now let's get the drop of paint coming off the brush built and moved over. So far, so good. So now, got to figure out how I want that to line up with the brush and the roof. And that looks all right. Now I need to finish off the bottom side of the brush here. And what I want to do is give it a little leg almost that's going to be in the ground. Work on the chimney next. So far looking the way I want. Get it moved over, positioned right, and I added in that extra edge so it would connect to the roof easier. So that being done, going to do the same with the drop of paint. Things just look better if they're one piece. You don't have issues, and I'll leave it at that. Now let's do some little decorative piece right here on the wall. I'm thinking kind of a corner piece, like a brick or something. Now I want both sides to extrude out such that they will intersect. And I know I just said I don't like that, but this is supposed to be. So that's why we're doing it here. Make a mirror copy for the other side and just position it a little differently. There we go. And now I want to have a fence for the artist's house. And at first I thought about doing a double fence like this, but then I thought better of the idea. So it'll just be like that, and then one for the other side. Now to get the horizontal boards that connect all the slats together. Or would it be posts, even though they're thin like that? Well, whatever you call them. Now I just get this final one put in. There we go. We have our artist's house and a fence added in. We do have some extra work that needs to be done. And of course, one bit of that is going to be the fireplace. To just make it something like that, a little bulge on the wall, outside wall. So something like that. And yeah, looking good. Alright, so we've got our basic building done. Now I want to make a copy of the little artsy corner piece things and move them around to the back. Get them positioned properly and adjusted as needed, like so. And now I want to do something a little different as well to make it like it's an artist's place. So at first I was thinking buckets of paint, but then I thought better of it. What we will do is make a palette. So let's get the general shape here. That looks good to start with. And now we need to make the little wells. And I need to pull up an image on the other screen to verify that I'm doing it right. And they're more circular than they are oval. And I think I've got them a bit too big, so we'll go with that. Yeah, that looks workable. Let's just pull this out a little bit so we can get one more in there. And now to connect vertices together into faces. Not a hard task, but it will, as always, be a monotonous one by the sheer nature of it. So far, so good. Nearly got it all the way around. Now, let's do the other side here. just one more. There we go. Now we need to go into edge mode because we're going to make the little well depressions. And we want to scale them all in by the same value so they look the same. And then we're going to extrude them out once more and scale them all in again. And then one last time. And these get joined together. Like so. Now this one is for the thumb to go in, and so it has to be a through hole. So I just extruded it along with the outer edge. And now we're going to put the faces in on that back edge, or back side I should say. And what do you know, everything is, all the normals are inverted. So flip them around, correct those, and everything looks done. We'll add in a edge loop or two right there to make it less painful on the imaginary thumb, and also around the outer edge. Just to give it a more rounded appearance. I am individually adjusting the entire set and moving it around a little bit, and then deselecting one set of vertices. Process takes a little bit of time, but it's usually worth it. Alright, now to get this turned around, probably like that. And now we need to add in some chain links. So we will probably use a torus for this. And we don't need nearly as many segments as it was showing. Scale it down to a right size. I want the chain embedded in, so we scale the actual palette up a little bit. And now duplicate and rotate the rings around. Get them lined up where they should be. Do it one more time, but we don't have to rotate it this time. And I'm probably going to want maybe, no, that should be good. Get put in right above that door. And there we go. There we go. Now, just to get everything positioned properly here. I don't want it quite as far away from the town hall as we had it. So just move it over a little bit, rotate it around. And to keep from having problems selecting everything, as you can see I had a little while ago, we're going to grab everything but the artist's house and hide it. Then we're going to move in an empty, which we can then link every part of the artist's house to and scale it. By scaling the empty, we scale everything it's connected to. And so that's the beauty of an empty. Alright, so we're done with the town hall and the artist's house. Next up is the farmhouse. And we need to get everything set up picture-wise so we can work with building it. And this one I had issues getting things started. For one of the pictures didn't want to be unselectable. So I had that fight the entire time through, as you will be seeing. But let's not worry about that right now. Let's instead focus on getting the main structure built. So we've got the outline of the building, but everything isn't scaled properly. My fault when drawing it. Thought I had everything matching up, but turns out I was wrong. So we're gonna go with this one to start with. Get the front of the main building done, and then we're gonna move it to line up with the top view. And then we want another door, so we can just duplicate that part. Get everything lined up as best we can. Now to do the windows, and we'll just duplicate it over, and we're going to move those back, get everything lined up, and then put in some upright vertices to make that wall with. So far, so good. So far, so good. There's the front done. And I decided I want a window right here, so get rid of that little bit of wall that I had. And now we can put this together on this side. There's that wall done. And now we need the other side. And I'll just put another window in nearly the exact same position. Or will I? No, I'll move it to the middle, close to that door. And that will give a offset. All right, we can finish putting in this side here now. Get everything that we need, all the vertices. Then it's just connecting them. And the back I'm not going to do anything with here yet. So I want to get the side wall and window extruded. Side door and windows extruded. That's what I meant to say. And now to do the front. And I realized that I made a slight mistake, but it can be corrected. Get the windows and door extruded on the front. So far, so good. Fill those in. This needs to come out, and that's what I was referring to. The sizes of the insets for the windows need to match. All right. Fighting with the images again. A little bit there, but we're past it now. Let's get the roof done for the main building. Had to take a little pause there to make sure I was thinking right on how it was going to work out. Now this side needs to, well, the entire thing needs to move around a little bit, so we'll get that fixed like so. And now let's finish up this side. Bring it down and around and connect it up. Pull it up to where it should be. And now we're just going to bring it in a little bit because I don't want that overhang to be too far. If we had left it where it was, we would have had to put in some support pillars, and that's not really the look I'm going for here. Now we're just putting in another layer, and then this we're going to lift up to about there, and this is where we start connecting everything. And then I realized that that's not the direction it needs to be going in at all, that I should be taking it in a different direction entirely. So that's what we're going to do. Want the little covered walkway to look like it's connected to the main roof, but not really be connected. So this is the best way to do that, as you will see shortly, because we're just about to the point where we can start working on that little covered walkway roof. Get enough subdivides put in there and raise it up just enough. Fill those in, delete that one. Extrude it out there, and now we're going to split it off from the main one and inset it. Having done that, we can get the front of the roof finished for the main building, the actual house. Subdivide again on the bottom edge there and connect. And do the same on the back here. I could have duplicated the first half and made it easier on me, but I decided not to for really unknown reason. But this is how I decided to do it, so that's how it's going to be done. And there is our main roof. Now we need to connect it in. And that process starts by extruding and moving the extruded vertices, and then lowering the roof completely. And now just to finish making the main roof a connected piece. That should do it. And now to add in some edges, add in some faces, make it look like a thatch roof. And now just connect everything. Get it all connected. There we go. Now we've got to connect the inside portion of that covered walkway roof to the main house. So far, so good. Just a little bit more connecting that needs to happen, and I run into a slight bit of trouble here because, well, some things it's best to go into with an overall plan and not do it like I'm doing here, just, oh, this seems like a good idea. But sometimes the best pieces I can make are a result of me starting out one way and making the decision that I need to go a different way, and then dealing with the problems inherent in not planning it out. So I've left all of that in here so you can see exactly how I managed to get through it all. And thankfully, I do manage to get through it all. Just takes more time than I would have liked, but that's how these things go sometimes. And here I'm mainly fighting with the camera view to see what I'm trying to work on. Alright, that's one side done. Now to get the other one here. Alright, that's going to be it for this time. See you all next time. Hey there everyone. Just wanted to thank you all for watching this video. And if you did enjoy it, remember to give me a like and a subscribe if you are so inclined. Also, I do have a Patreon. The links are in the description below. You can have your name in the credits here as well.